Hey Finxters, welcome back. This is my second video in the series about Python library hijacking. And first, let me just explain the setup behind my home network recreation. So a few years back, I got a Raspberry Pi 3 version B, I think it is, maybe Plus also on there. Anyway, it's not the newest Pi, but it does enough that I was able to set up a running system on my network to filter out advertisements from all of my internet connected devices, and also it works doubly as a box that I can SSH into. So I set up several users, and the first user is vulnerable user. That's the username. And just as you might suspect, there is a file permissions vulnerability that we're able to exploit and switch users to the Ben user who has more permissions. And eventually we'll be able to switch to root. So without further ado, let me get into it.
All right, so let's get back to it. And today I'm going to show you how I recreated the Python library hijacking on my home system. So first let's SSH into, we have to assume that we have the username and password for the vulnerable user. So I've already set that up here. Vulnerable user at and I know the password, so let's go ahead in. This is the Raspberry Pi running Diet Pi operating system. Let's check what we've got in here. Okay, so I already created that numpy.py file to hijack the library. There's a curious looking file here, checkmypermissions.py. Let's nano that out and see what we've got. Import numpy, print, you have run this strange program. Okay. Let's see what those permissions are. Sudo -l. And just like in the box Wonderland on TryHackMe, here this user, vulnerable user, may run the following commands on PySurfer, and so I can run it as the user Ben. User ID is 1001, and it's this file, the checkmypermissions.py. So we're going to hijack the numpy library here by creating the numpy.py file. And this is what you would write in there to spawn a shell: import os.system bin shell. Save that, exit, and let's put in our code, our command rather, for running it as Ben. So we'll do Python 3. Let's see. Python 3 checkmypermissions.py. And we want to run that as the user Ben. Okay, check my syntax. Let's see, what did I do wrong? I don't think we have sudo permissions. Let's try it though. Sudo user Ben Python 3. What did it say precisely there? User bin Python 3. Okay, so we're going to use that full path so that it won't debate it here. Sudo as user Ben And we've got a shell. Who am I? We're Ben. All right, so we have now switched over to user Ben using Python library hijacking. This was a simple example. I'm not exactly sure how common these kinds of permissions are, but from my reading, it looks like typically it might be like in a corporate setting when sysadmin wants to give temporary permissions to, or not temporary, but granulated permissions to different employees so that they can run scripts and the sysadmin wouldn't have to run them all himself. I'll be keeping a watch for this kind of vulnerability in the future, and please reach out. Let me know if you come across it yourself. Be curious to hear what you find. Here's my email again. If you have any comments, hit me up on Proton Mail. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye.